Coming up next on Jazz and Prose TV. Today, we're sitting down with Shami. She's the co-founder of a London-based book club called Shelf.interest. They're all about embracing Black literature. In this interview, we talk about the origins of the book club, her favorite book, and the age-old question, do people really judge books by their cover? Stay tuned to the next episode on Jazz and Prose TV. Hi guys, welcome back to our first, this is actually not an author interview, but it's our first book club interview. And today we're here with the lovely Shami from the book club Shelf.interest. Shami, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Nice, chill, relaxed Sunday, and over here it's bank holiday weekend, so quite restful.
Okay, and when you say over here, for our viewers, where are you actually located?
So I'm from London, UK, so in England.
Okay, we love that. This is our first international interview.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, so Shelf.interest, I found you guys on Instagram. Love it.
Thank you.
I love seeing readers. I mean, I even have earrings that say read on right now.
Beautiful.
So like I told you, so many people are interested in this interview because they get a chance to get to know about you guys. I have questions. I usually do have slides and everything, but a lot of these are, probably just going to be, from my brain or from the ones that people sent us. So let's go ahead and start with just your introduction and background. So if you want to tell us about yourself and of course Shelf.interest, we can start there.
Okay, so I'm Shami. I'm a psychological therapist. I work in well-being, mental health, and I'm a co-founder of Shelf.interest Book Club. The other co-founder is my best friend, and we've known each other since we were 12. We used to hide out in the library a lot, went to a very chaotic school. The library was always a place of solace. We liked reading, talking, and we always said, since we were kids, we should make a book club, we should make a book club. And then like 16 years later, we're like, okay, right, let's actually put the effort into it. And then from there, we wanted it to be, books that aren't always read. So my first, I guess, Black book. So over here, again, like I mentioned a bit earlier, the Black British community here is emerging. So my first Black book I read was The Secret Lives of Baba Shegi's Wives. And I had never before that read like an Africanized book or anything like that. So from there, I just really wanted to read more from African, Caribbean, anyone in the Black diaspora, African American writers. So I knew that the book club, I wanted it to focus on Black authors. Yeah. So we had a launch event in September 2023. We did a lot of preparation before that. We decided what's our book club model going to be, what's going to make it a bit different. I think we just wanted the book space to not seem so elitist, which is what the vibe I got previously when I wanted to join one.
Yeah.
I felt like, I found myself worrying about things that didn't really matter, like what should I wear to the book club and what should things that, so they became barriers for me. And also I was scared of, what if I don't finish reading the book? What if I this? What if? So I think I felt very anxious. Could have been me overthinking, but when we decided that we're going to have our own space, we just wanted to eliminate those anxieties and be very come as you are. And that's where the idea was born from.
I love that because that is like, as me, I know it's weird. I am a reading teacher, I'm an author, all those things, but it takes me a long time to read a book because I'm one of those people that's like, I think about everything. So I read a paragraph and then I go think about that for 2 days. Like,
yeah.
So I love that you guys actually took what I guess the roles from the other book clubs and you tailored that to say this is how we're going to set ourselves apart to be different. I love that. So, and this is a lovely picture here. You guys, you definitely need to follow them on Instagram because I looked, and even though it's a book club, it looks so fun. It looks like you guys do a bunch of other things as well. I saw you guys did like icebreakers in the middle. Y'all got food. We love food now. So it's a really dope book club. Okay, so I really don't even know where to begin with the questions, but let's start with maybe choosing a book. how do you guys go about choosing the book that you're going to read for the, how is it like a month or?
So we've done it in all kinds of different ways, to be honest. So the first few, it was the books that were in our sphere of interest, and we reached out and we saw what's available. Is the author available to speak to us? Are the publishers on board? Can they give us free books or discounted books? What kind of event do we want to do? Yeah, so that's how it went. The first person that we interviewed was Kelechi Okafor, and she was launching her debut book. Fortunately, we have a mutual friend who knew that I was doing a book club, knew that her book was coming out, and put us together. And because she had, Kelechi has a massive platform, she speaks about really incredible issues in the Black community. Her presence obviously brought an amazing audience, and I think that it just really aligned very well. Then from there, we were able to, branch out, reach out to other authors, and most of them were very forthcoming. And so it's evolved now to, we get a lot of suggestions from our book club members. We do ask them in our meetings, is there any book on your radar that you think would be good, or any author on your radar that you think we'd like to see? A lot of the times we also get publishers or authors reaching out to us, just giving us a little synopsis of the book and saying how they'd like to collaborate. So sometimes we choose from there too. So it's quite diverse how we come across the books that we choose. Yeah, we don't have a specific process, but it's really people that put themselves out there. We hear about a great book, or someone's reached out to us, or it's been suggested to us by a book club member.
Okay. Do you guys have like a I don't want to say like a Dropbox, but like, I guess it's at you guys' meetings, you guys just take a poll or whatever and say, and then you guys just jot it down, and then
it's more a conversation. So we'll say, oh, we're thinking of having this book in August. What do you guys think about that? And some people will be like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. Some people will be like, oh, I'm not really feeling it, or haven't we done a bit too much of this? So that's another thing. We try to diversify the genre and where the author's from. So in the UK, let's say we have a lot of Nigerians and Jamaicans. Naturally, we're going to lean towards Nigerian and Jamaican authors, but we try to make sure that we're not doing that. So we're diversifying, where the authors are from too.
Okay, so I guess because you guys are in London, do you lean more towards local, or?
Yes and no. So it's nice when we can get an in-person author, which is the more local ones. But we do online interviews with authors as well. So we've had authors from the US, from Jamaica, from different parts of the diaspora. And some of them are very happy to do online meetings, from Zimbabwe as well. So no, it's not always local, but we do like the ability for someone to be in person.
Yeah, and I can't, like I said, I have slides, but I did see that you guys have authors come in. I love that, to actually talk about the book. So what, I guess, I want to know what you're so far, and I don't want to put you on the spot. Well, let's just talk about all time. What is your all-time favorite book? Your specifically all-time favorite book?
Oh, that's a difficult one, but and it's so changeable as well. So one of them that I'll say, I think that I've probably spoken about the most, is called Drinking from Graveyard Wells. It's by Yvette Lisan-Lovu. It's a short. So I love fantasy. I love witches and witchcraft, especially Africanized witchcraft, because of the stories I grew up with. So it's packed with that. And it's not spooky. But it has like a nice feminist twist, and it criticizes capitalism, but through that lens of juju, voodoo, whatever they call it in Zimbabwe. So it's a Zimbabwean author, but but I love all of the fantastical things. So that's a nice short story collection with those features, spoken through a feminist lens. So I'm a big fan.
Okay, that's the thing I love about books is that there are so many, and I just feel like I'm always going to have something to do because there's so many that I want to read. Yes. And then it's like, sometimes I kind of like savor it. I'm like, no, I don't want to read this one yet because I want to, okay. So when it comes, so you kind of talked about y'all's process with, choosing the book. what are your thoughts about book covers? Do you think book covers help you? Like, does it matter for you guys, or?
I think it always depends on the reader. So
Okay.
me specifically, it does matter a lot. So I forget a lot. So sometimes when I'm describing a book, I would say, oh, I can't remember who wrote it or even the name, but the
Yeah.
cover is like this. So that's the thing that makes the biggest imprint on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say specifically, so the book I just mentioned, Drinking from Graveyard Wells, has beautiful cover art.
Mm-hmm.
Philip B. Williams is ours. So we did that as well. That's the reason why we picked it. We saw Penguin's upcoming, I think it was Penguin's upcoming releases. That was there, and I saw these two black figures, so I knew it was obviously written by
Yeah.
black author, but it was so beautiful. And that's what led me to read into, what is this book? What is it about? So it was the cover for that, because I hadn't heard anything about it. I saw that
Yeah.
post and I was just mesmerized by the artwork. I went into who is the artist, what is the book about? We must have this book. Let's reach out to them. So yeah, and for that, for certain books,
Yeah.
it's just it's so beautiful. I just want to know more. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter to a lot of people. So, but for me, and I guess it has helped us select certain books. It
Mm-hmm.
does. I think
It does a lot.
it matters. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. Um, Especially I feel like, because the thing with that is I feel like the person hasn't read the book yet. It can be an amazing story, great plot,
Yeah.
all of that, but they won't know that really until the first thing they see is that cover. So yeah. Let's see. So we talked about that. I think you cover so many things and just talking. I will say, okay, so let's talk about people joining your book club. What is that process like? Is it only for locals? Do you have online, that kind of thing?
So it's a bit it's a bit more complex than I'd like it to be. But so there are different ways to join. You can literally just come to an event. We put out the tickets and just come.
Mhm.
We have our monthly subscription members who get the book sent to their door every month. So they don't need to worry about getting it or anything like that. We'll just send it automatically. And then we have people that can just join online as well. So we do get a lot of international people joining, especially when we have big international authors or just authors of interest. We get all kinds of people joining, and that's, we're very happy with that. So yeah, there's all kinds of ways to join.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I had a person reach out to me like literally maybe it was last week, and they was like, "Oh, I want to join the book club," and I'm like, "Okay." And there are several book clubs out there. I mean, the thing about literature and just this, there are so many little pockets of things of interest. So when
Absolutely.
I'm thinking of like, oh, who can I interview to get the word out there to the literary community, it's just so many different places to go. But yeah, I definitely saw, like I said, you guys definitely need to go on Instagram to take a peek at some of the things that they post. I was immediately intrigued when I saw it. I was like, oh my God. And I do love that in the African diaspora, I feel like literature is important. I can't speak for the UK, but in the US, a lot of just people in general don't like to read. There's a lot of people who do, but as a teacher, I all the time there's like, oh, Miss Sharp, I don't read, I don't do this, and I'm like, oh, that's sad. Maybe you're not reading the right books that you like. So I love when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I love this. It literally warms my heart to see Black
Oh,
people is reading. Yeah, I love that. Let's talk a little bit about AI from your perspective. Um, in relation to the book cover, okay, if there's AI, like, you can kind of tell when it's AI. And then also, just what are your thoughts about AI in general with books and authors and as a reader?
I actually made a post about it. So in general, so for me anyway, the experience of reading, the experience of consuming art is about interpreting what another soul has tried to put out there and what they're trying to express. So for me, AI used in that way is a bit of an abomination. It's very perverse. It's very exploitative as well, because keep
Yeah.
in mind, we're doing this, we're promoting these books, hoping that money goes to authors, to
Mhm.
artists.
Yeah.
And what you find with the use of AI is that it replaces Black people first. So once you have that Black artists will be the ones that are less likely to be, picked out to do certain things. They'd rather just, tell AI to do a copy of the Black artist's work. So for me, I really want to. So we prioritize speaking to authors. We want to know, why did you write it like this? What kind of perspective? Like, how do you have that discussion with a computer that just got a
Yeah.
amalgamation of a bunch of things from different places?
Hmm.
Um, so, and it's scary because AI is getting a lot better. It's getting harder to detect. But
Yeah.
for me, it's just yeah, the meaning behind the experience is to connect with another soul.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me. So I find it a bit abominable to give me a piece by AI and want me to connect with that, because it's, I don't know, it feels
Yeah.
it's like a violation of some sort.
Yeah. And for me, I'm literally, because I'm a reading teacher, I can kind of tell, especially like, so for people that, I'm from New Orleans. Okay.
Oh, lovely.
Being from New Orleans, it's a very unique place. So like if I'm going to write a book about New Orleans, there are just certain details that only humans would like. So
Yeah.
I just feel like, yes, for me, if I'm reading a book or something, I think for the most part, especially with our dialect and how we talk and things like that, I think humans, we have that, because there are some things that it's just, oh my God, like I was telling you earlier that I married into a Jamaican family. And when I married into that family, it was like learning, it is another language, but it was just like so much figurative language. And I was just like, I was confused a lot of the time. And I'm like, oh my God. So I think, yes, for like a book that's just very, it's not as I don't know how to describe it, maybe just magical, I don't know. It would be easier for AI to like just write that book. But I feel like I'm so intrigued when you talked about the Zimbabwe, I think it was the book with
Yeah.
the, I really want to read that now. I took a course in college and that really opened my eyes a lot to the African culture, because as an American, like we, the stuff in textbooks, they tell us all this kind of stuff. Luckily, my dad was very like, I got the love of literature from him. So he told us a lot of stuff, but it wasn't until I took that course that I learned so much stuff about the African community and just the different religious aspects and just all of that. And I was mind blown. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get a list of recommendations.
Yes, that's what I love. I'm happy to give them.
Yes, absolutely. What was I gonna say? I was about to say something else. Let me ask one of the questions from the people in the Facebook group. So are you open to reading books with religious overtones and plots?
Yes. So a lot of the experience with I guess the African Caribbean, all over the diaspora, Black people have always been spiritual people.
Yeah.
And spirituality is beautiful in many, many ways, and religion has been used in many, many ways, and it's also been used in very controversial ways as well. So I think that those conversations are very important. So let's say this in May, we're going to be reading a book by a queer it's a queer Congolese storyline, and a lot of the storyline is how the queerness interacts with the Christianity, and that happens. When we get queer people in our communities, there is a lot of shunning religiously. So I think art imitates life, and one reason, even when you're reading for entertainment, you are being educated and you are exploring certain dynamics. So I think it's very important to explore religious themes that we've all grown up with. I don't know a single Black person that didn't grow up in religion in some way. So I personally think it's normal, and it's even necessary for the art that we consume to replicate what we know, and
Yeah.
sometimes even challenge what we know as well. Have us think about it differently. So yeah, we often talk about religion, and I'm very open to it, and I think it's important to discuss.
Okay, great. I'm sure she'll be happy. I think this is from a lady that I interviewed maybe last week, and she writes dark Christian fiction.
Oh,
So
what is dark Christian fiction? I've
yeah.
never heard that before.
Her book, oh my God, it's called Family Ties. Okay. And I think it was about a guy who was in a satanic gang.
Oh,
And it's his redemption story. So yeah, that's on our YouTube. She yeah, so Pink Pansy Publishing, that's who is asking that. So yeah, now I think I want to get into the trivia time, but before we do that, I want you to pick a book that you're going to use, a fiction book, that you're going to use to answer. Well, it depends on the number that you choose, but just have one in mind, okay? And let me get here. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, music.
Yes. Let's see here. Okay, so this is Would You Rather. Now it's for authors, but we'll just, like I said, pick a book that you want to relate it to, depending on the question that you get. So pick a number from 1 to 4.
I'm gonna pick 3.
Guys, I know everybody that comes on here picks 3. Now, I didn't ask this question though. Do you write?
I do write, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, well, good. Do you have any books out, or?
I don't at the moment, no.
Okay, well, that's fine. So you can still answer this question, because I think this question is more like a specific writing question, but it's okay. Okay, so would you rather only write at 3 a.m. or only with a typewriter?
Typewriter.
Really?
I've always wanted to try one anyway, because it feels like the original way to type. And also 3 a.m. I'm asleep. You're not gonna get any good ideas out of me. I'm gonna write gibberish. So yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay. And I always talk about Christina Zell, which you should definitely check her out too. I'll give you the link, but she writes a lot of fantasy Black stuff, and she has a book out. But she answered this question, and she literally pulled out her typewriter. I was like, oh my God, you actually have a typewriter here.
I love that.
Yes, I was so shocked. I'm gonna talk about it forever. I feel like I want to ask you another one of these though. Okay, so the book that I told you to pick, right? The fiction book. So what is that book? What's the title of that book? Or just pick a title of a book.
It's called The 392.
The 392. Okay, so for the 392, would you rather be stuck in 392 setting for a year, or hang out with the villain or the bad person in that book for one day?
Oh, that's terrible, because it's a bit of the same thing. So basically the setting is on a bus with a bunch of people, and there is a villain on the bus.
Okay.
So would I rather be in the bus with all the people, including the villain, or just with the villain? I'd rather be, in the setting. Let me be with everyone.
In the setting?
Yeah.
For a year.
On a bus for a year. Oh God.
So that book, okay, so the 392, that book, the whole book is just they're on a bus.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of, some people are strangers, some people know each other, but they're just on a bus, and it's going through their inner worlds for 38 minutes on the bus journey. And so I'd rather just, because the villain's really not pleasant. I mean, they're not gonna kill you or harm you, but just like, it's like there's actually a few. Actually, there's a racist, there's a pervert. Yeah. So I think I'd rather be on the bus.
Okay, all right. I think I saw that post that you guys made for 392, and you guys had the author come there.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay, so do you have a favorite book club read?
Okay, can I say a few?
You have a few? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So one of my favorites is How to Say Babylon by Safia Sinclair. She is a Jamaican author. It's a memoir about her growing up under Rastafari rule by her father. So that really opened my eyes, because I know a lot of Jamaicans. I thought I know everything about Jamaican culture, but then I didn't know anything about Rastafari growing up as it was depicted in her book. So that was a really amazing read, and it's beautiful. She's a poet, and it's written amazing. She just writes amazingly, and she's beautiful as well. We interviewed her. She's great. Drinking from Graveyard Wells, which is the one I mentioned earlier, Zimbabwean author, Black magic, feminist themes. The 392, I really enjoyed it. A bunch of people on a bus, not perfect strangers, but yeah, and a bunch of dramas happening on the bus that all you hear their inner thoughts about it. So I find that really interesting. The author's really good at adopting different tones, and it's really good on audiobook. Edge of Hair by Kelechi Okafor. It's futuristic short stories told from the perspective of Black women. They're going through like weird, technical, voyeuristic experiences. So like there's one where like their wombs are being exploited. It's just really like this could happen, or this is like a just a hop, skip, and a step away from our current reality.
Okay.
And it speculates essentially, from what's happening now, what could happen. I think that's really well done. A Broken People's Playlist by Chimeka Garrett. She's a Nigerian author. It's just a bunch of different stories about people that are fundamentally broken in different ways, trying to love, mend, heal
Yeah.
trauma, and it's written so beautifully. The stories are very short, but they pack a punch. They're very emotive. You become attached to the characters really easily. And it just shows how complex life is. So I feel like I rambled on, but yeah, those would be some of my top picks.
There's plenty of people who are looking for recommendations, including me. Point of view, which do you guys prefer? You or is a general? I don't know if you guys asked that question for your book club. Do you guys prefer like first person point of view or third person?
I've never actually thought about that, to be honest. Do you know what? I think most books are in first or second, but I appreciate anything. Once the writing is good, I'm hooked.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing that we have mentioned is when it changes like from chapter to chapter. So let's say sometimes it's in one person's perspective and they're doing first person, and then there's another chapter in another person's perspective, and so that we might discuss. But yeah, I don't think I have an outright preference.
Okay, because I was when you were talking about 392, immediately I was like, okay, it must be like each chapter may be different from a different person. I love when authors write about one event, but you see it from multiple perspectives. That is beautiful. I love that because it's that's how life is, and I try to tell people all the time, like, well, try to see it from this person's point of view. Oh my God, there was one other question that I was gonna ask and I can't remember it. I probably have to just message it to you. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But so guys, definitely check out Shelf.interest. Okay, the book club. You did say that you guys welcome international.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
You welcome international. And then where can they find you guys?
So we are on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and we have a website as well. The best thing for you to do to keep up with what we're doing is follow us on socials or subscribe to us via email. We send emails out just with our newsletter every month about what's coming up, the book of the month, and our events. So you'll be able to know what you can join. Some events are closed for subscribing members only. Most of our events are open to everyone. Again, we have online events too. And even if you're not interested in coming to the events, we'll just let you know what we think about the books that we're reading anyway, so you can pick up some new interesting books.
Okay, awesome. Oh my God, I'm so excited that you stopped by, Shami, to talk.
Thank you for having me. This has been so fun and refreshing.
Yes, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is our first book club interview with Shelf.interest with the lovely Shami. And we will see you in the next video.
Bye.